Right, people. Yes, I've not been uploading videos. I have been busy with many things on the pipeline, work-wise and other things basically. So my humble apologies. Right, what we have here is a Dell Latitude E6420 running an SSD drive, i5 processor, 4 gig of RAM, and we have Windows 11 installation USB basically. So let's fire this up first of all. Some of you already know what this issue is with Windows 11. And let me sort of boot up and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so this laptop is perfectly normal to, oops, it booted to Windows 10. That's already pre-installed on the SSD drive. Let's try again. That wasn't quick enough. Here we go. Okay, so what's happening here is sadly Microsoft have turned out to be an absolute ludicrously nuisance. Okay, on Windows 11 there's a minimum requirement, and sadly that leave millions and millions and millions, I would say probably, you know, uh, massive amount of PCs and laptops which are not going to be upgradable to Windows 11. Okay, and that sort of puts a lot of things, to a limit of Windows 10, and that's end of basically. So for example, this unit is perfectly running Windows 10, no problem whatsoever. But Windows, I'll just go into the setup, watch what happens. But as it comes to Windows 11 installation, it will fail basically. It will not install because the hardware requirement is, let's just say no key. Okay, just Windows 11 home 64-bit up, 64-bit. I don't know if you can see this. There you have it. Okay, watch what happens. Obviously, right, and I'll tell you what. Unless somebody comes up with a patch of some sort. Okay, so this PC cannot run Windows 11. The PC does not meet the minimum system requirements to install this version of Windows. Yep. For more information, blah blah blah. Okay. Well, you know what? That's all I'm going to say to you guys. Okay, so the minimum requirement of Windows 10, sadly, find that for you. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so this is the minimum requirement. To install Windows 11, you are required to have Intel 8th Gen Coffee Lake or Zen 2 CPUs and upwards. TPM 2.0, which is Trusted Platform Module support. Minimum of 4 gig of RAM and the minimum storage of 64 gig basically. And sadly, this PC or laptop I should say, can only run on Windows 10, the very latest, and that's as far as it goes basically. So what that effectively means is there'll be millions, if anything billions of computers are going to be redundant. Not the fact that it's unusable, but sadly with Microsoft, I don't know what the fuck these guys are thinking. Somebody needs to be sacked in Microsoft. Somebody, which idiot that has actually even come across with that level of thought process needs to be sacked, booted out of the company basically, because now people like myself, system builders and PC repairs, and there's none of licensing cost. There won't be any licensing pay because I can't upgrade to computers where basically, such as these are business edition laptops. They're pretty robust laptops basically. They're in the excess of thousands of pounds at the time of sale. Yes, it came with Windows 7. It's still running Windows 10. Absolutely brilliant. It runs Windows 10 flawlessly without a problem. But Windows 11, no, it won't let you install. So sadly, from my side of it, yes, of course there'll be it's going to be affecting me slightly, but I don't understand how this manufacturer work. I don't understand, how they can do things like that to stop the revenue generating, because now a lot of people will be stranded to a point where basically they no longer be able to update their PC to Windows 11. Now, it's Windows 10 will become obsolete in another, I would say, another good few years, basically. Just like Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, whatever, so and so forth. I don't think Windows 8 is at the end of line. I need to recall up on that, basically. I'm not sure about that. But Windows 7 for definite that they've no longer sort of providing any supports and updates, basically. Not the fact that you can't use them. Of course you can use the old operating systems. There's absolutely no problem. Even XP, you can use XP, no problem. The only issue you're going to have is with the browsers, that certain browsers will stop working. Even on Windows 7, certain browsers. So you can, Microsoft browsers I'm on about. Even Google Chrome, I've noticed that it sort of starts prompting messages about updating and so forth, basically. So third party like Opera, Mozilla Firefox, I believe that they work fine on Windows 7. But moving on to this douchebag operating system, basically, that Microsoft decided to release, absolutely, gutted to even come across with something like this. Really disappointed, really sad that the tech industry is just becoming a dominant force, basically, just literally doing whatever they want, basically, but not listening to the end user. What does the end user want? What do we want? They're not listening to that. They're just throwing things at the table and saying, well, fuck it, you have it the way we're going to give it to you, or fuck off. But for some reason, we're still fucking supporting these manufacturers. I mean, I've got nothing against Microsoft. I rate them as high as possible. But coming onto this Windows 11, absolute bollocks. That's all I'm going to say, is absolute bollocks, basically. So now you've got to throw all your laptops away. If you upgrade to Windows 11, you want the latest operating system with the so-called security and all that. Basically, people, I think, gets a bit miscarried away with thinking, with latest operating system means all the latest securities and all that. Well, not necessarily. I mean, still Windows 10, you've got many years to go with, basically. Even Windows 7, I think is pretty sweet spot for people that got older system. But sadly, Windows 11, thumbs down, definitely. And advice for Microsoft: sack that prick who's actually coming up with all these ideas. You need to sack him, basically. Get them out of the way. How, you've got to look at the logic side of it. The logic is basically that a company, the end user, buy this stuff, pay for the licensing, and also these large corporations like HP, Dell, the manufacturers, and so on and so forth, they're buying volume licenses, basically. But it's okay for them because they will be the one that'll be supplying the units brand new. So they will have 10th generation, 11th generation, 12th generation CPUs, and so on and so forth. So that's fine. But what about the end user? Have you had any thought of the end users, basically, who want to install Windows 11 on one of their either gaming rig, which is not 8th generation Coffee Lake processor? Have you? Well, I'll leave this question to everybody and to Microsoft. But absolutely despicable, shocking, sick, and saddened that they've come up with the idea that Windows 11 requires a minimum spec of such and such, like i.e. the 8th gen. And I'm not going to repeat this. Anyway, guys, look after yourself, stay well, stay safe, and I'll catch up with you on my next video. Peace.